In today's world, many people experience a deep sense of disconnection and inner emptiness. Despite being surrounded by material wealth, achievements, and a seemingly fulfilling life, this feeling of something missing is a modern predicament, where external success often doesn't translate into internal fulfillment. Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist and one of the most influential thinkers of the 20th century, delved deeply into this issue. He offered profound insights into the nature of the human soul and how the modern world's rational and materialistic focus often leads to a disconnection from it. His work remains incredibly relevant in today's age of constant distractions, technological overload, and existential anxiety. Jung believed that there was an essential part of the human experience that, if ignored, left people spiritually unfulfilled. This soul was not some ethereal or mystical entity, but rather a profound and deep aspect of the psyche, rooted in the unconscious mind. The soul, according to Jung, is the part of us that connects to something deeper and greater than just our material existence. Unfortunately, as society evolved, especially with the rise of industrialization, rationalism, and the scientific revolution, the connection to this deep, inner self was neglected or forgotten. The disconnection from the soul. Jung saw the modern world as being increasingly disconnected from the very thing that gives life depth or inner soul. This disconnection has led to a widespread sense of alienation and emptiness. In his 1933 work, Modern Man in Search of a Soul, Jung described how the modern individual, overwhelmed by the rapid pace of technological and societal change, has lost touch with the deeper parts of themselves. People have been conditioned to focus primarily on intellectual pursuits and external accomplishments, neglecting the internal world of emotion, intuition, and spirituality. This loss of connection, he argued, leads to the experience of psychological crises such as depression, anxiety, and a general lack of purpose. In the wake of World War I and later global conflicts, humanity experienced not only physical destruction, but also a crisis of the soul. The societal shifts towards mechanization and rationalism during the Industrial Revolution and into the modern age created a psychological void. The importance of spiritual and emotional health was overshadowed by technological advancements, creating a culture of materialism and individualism that lacked a deeper, shared connection to the self and others. Even today, with the pervasive influence of social media and the ever-expanding digital world, many people find themselves more distracted than ever, disconnected from their true selves, and constantly seeking external validation. Jung observed that, by not honoring the soul, people's psychological health suffered. He saw reconnecting with the soul as essential for restoring balance, fulfillment, and meaning to the modern life. The Inner Journey, the Red Book and Jung's personal exploration. One of the most profound ways Jung explored the depths of the unconscious and his own inner world was through a series of visionary experiences he documented in the Red Book. During a period of personal crisis, Jung engaged in a deep exploration of his unconscious mind, confronting both light and dark aspects of his psyche. His work in the Red Book was deeply personal and often disturbing, yet it served as a foundational part of his later psychological theories. The content of the Red Book was kept private by Jung for many years, as he feared it would be misunderstood. The book, which contains detailed accounts of Jung's dreams, visions, and self-reflection, was only published posthumously in 2009. It was a powerful record of his personal journey towards self-knowledge and individuation. Through his exploration, Jung gained insights into the structure of the unconscious mind, uncovering the collective unconscious, which contains the archetypes and symbols shared across humanity. Jung's engagement with his unconscious was not just an intellectual exercise, but an active, transformative process that involved facing his own fears, desires, and suppressed emotions. This inner journey is what Jung believed was necessary for everyone to undertake. He saw it as a path to reclaiming the soul, which he felt had been neglected by modern society. The Red Book represents not only Jung's personal transformation, but also the larger journey humanity must take to reconnect with its inner depth. Spiritual growth. 4 pathways to reconnect with the soul. Jung believed that reconnecting with the soul required a journey that could take many forms. He outlined 4 distinct paths towards spiritual and psychological growth. Each of these pathways provides a unique approach to rediscovering meaning, purpose, and connection with the soul. 1. Embracing the primitive mind. Jung recognized the importance of reconnecting with more primitive, instinctive ways of understanding life. Before the rise of modern science and rationality, ancient cultures held a deeper connection to their unconscious selves and the natural world. They viewed the psyche as a sacred part of human existence, not something to be controlled by intellect. This idea is reflected in many Eastern spiritual practices that emphasize mindfulness, presence, and emotional attunement to the moment. Spiritual teachings, like those found in The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, echo Jung's belief in the importance of returning to a more intuitive and less intellectualized understanding of life. By turning off the noise of modern life and paying attention to the present moment, we can reconnect with a more authentic, deeper version of ourselves. Jung saw wisdom in ancient religious practices, mythologies, and rituals, believing that they offered access to a universal collective unconscious that could guide individuals on their journey towards self-discovery. Nietzsche's famous question, "What sacred games shall we have to invent?" illustrates the need for creating meaningful rituals and frameworks that allow us to reconnect with our spiritual and existential roots. 2. Re-engaging with religion on a personal level. Jung also recognized the importance of religion as a gateway to the soul. However, he was clear that he did not see religion as a one-size-fits-all solution. Instead, he argued that it was essential to return to religious symbolism and rituals, but in a deeply personal, authentic way. For Jung, this did not mean returning to the dogmatic structures of traditional religions, but rather re-engaging with the core symbols and myths that religion provides. He believed that these symbols could offer insight into the workings of the psyche and serve as metaphors for the deeper struggles of the human condition. In a world where traditional religious structures have largely been abandoned or dismissed, Jung encouraged individuals to find meaning in the symbols, myths, and rituals that resonate with them personally. Jung's approach to religion aligned with thinkers like Søren Kierkegaard and Fyodor Dostoevsky, who warned against blind adherence to religious dogma. For Jung, true spirituality was about personal engagement and deep reflection, rather than conforming to external expectations. 3. Finding meaning in ideology and philosophy. For individuals who are not drawn to traditional religious frameworks, Jung suggested that meaning could still be found in philosophy, ideology, or ethics. These frameworks could provide a moral foundation and a sense of purpose. However, Jung was cautious about adhering to any ideology too rigidly. He warned against the dangers of dogmatic systems of thought, which could stifle individual growth and lead to societal conflict. Ideologies, Jung argued, should be engaged with critically and consciously. He was particularly concerned with extreme political ideologies, as he believed they could manipulate individuals rather than encourage genuine personal development. For Jung, ideologies had the potential to offer a path toward deeper understanding, but only if approached thoughtfully and with a sense of personal autonomy. 4. The journey of individuation. Jung's most well-known contribution to psychology was the concept of individuation, the process of becoming a whole, authentic individual. Individuation is the journey of integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche. This process involves facing the shadow, the darker, repressed parts of oneself, and embracing them In order to achieve greater self-awareness and psychological balance, the path of individuation is not easy. It requires confronting the aspects of ourselves that we may not want to acknowledge. But it is through this confrontation that we gain access to the fullness of our potential. Jung saw the ego, our conscious self, the personal unconscious, the repressed memories and emotions, and the collective unconscious, the deeper, shared psychic patterns, as integral parts of the individuation process. By integrating these different layers of the psyche, we can achieve a sense of wholeness and authenticity. Jung's work on the anima, the feminine aspect in men, and animus, the masculine aspect in women, also highlighted the importance of embracing the opposite gender's qualities in order to become more psychologically complete. Rediscovering the soul in the modern world. Carl Jung's work offers a powerful guide for those seeking to reconnect with their soul in the face of modern distractions. His teachings show that true fulfillment and meaning come not from external achievements or material success, but from a deep, personal engagement with our inner world. Whether through the embrace of ancient wisdom, the renewal of religious symbols, the exploration of philosophical meaning, or the process of individuation, the journey to reclaim the soul is one of the most vital undertakings of the modern individual. In a world increasingly driven by external validation and fleeting distractions, Jung reminds us that the answers to our deepest questions lie not outside ourselves, but within. The path to rediscovery is not an easy one, but it is the most rewarding, leading to a life of purpose, self-awareness, and spiritual depth. By embracing all aspects of our psyche, both light and shadow, we can unlock a profound sense of authenticity and belonging in the world.